Hey, Michael with X-Force PC. I want to talk about the single display Pilot Workshop system. So a few things have come and gone since we refreshed this thing last. I think it was time for a new video and a fresh start on this thing. So a lot of the things are similar, so let's talk about those from the top down. We've got our 27-inch 1080p display. 1080p is the standard resolution these days. 27 inches is a little bit larger than average. Probably the average monitor is 24 inches, so this is a little bigger than average. We've got our wireless keyboard and mouse here. And then we have our Thrustmaster T16000M stick. This stick is liked quite a bit by the guys at Pilot Workshops, so that's why we're packaging it with the system. And then we're going to talk about options at the end. We also have CH Pro pedals that come with the system. And again, those guys at Pilot Workshops really like the CH Pro pedals. We also have a headset, which I wasn't going to wear the whole time. So this headset allows you to do things like Pilot Edge or simply not disturb your spouse. Pilot Edge, by the way, is real-time ATC where you talk to a human instead of a computer. Trying to do the ATC with artificial intelligence really, it's not that helpful. The best thing to do is talk to a real human. So this allows you to talk to a real human, make your mistakes on the ground, or not in real life at least, and then when you go to talk to the real tower who's trying to direct planes in the air and landing and taking off, you're not making mistakes. Make your mistakes on the ground. That's what the whole purpose of the simulators is. At least that's one of the purposes. We also have a license of X-Plane that comes with the system. And then lastly, I want to talk about options. So we do have the option for this here that you've probably been eyeing up is the RealSim Gear GNS 530. This allows you to use the knobs and switches and buttons and control the 530 or 430, we'll get to that in a second, without having to grab the mouse and click on the screen. Now you can bring the GPS up on the screen and use it that way, or you can simply go down here and click on the various knobs and buttons and so forth with the mouse in the panel. But I would argue this gives you a really nice simulation. Now this adds a fair amount of cost to the system, but if you're heavily going to be using a 430 or a 530, I do recommend it. By the way, a 530 for the most part is just a bigger 430 with a bigger screen. The button layout is almost identical, menus are almost identical, so you can still practice if you're using a 430 in real life using this particular piece of hardware. Again, it is going to be an option. Also, I will mention that it only works with planes that use the X-Plane 530, and that's the majority of them, including the default Cessna 172, which comes with X-Plane, and the Baron, for instance. They all use the X-Plane 530. If for some reason you were using some third-party 530, you would have to check and make sure that the RealSim Gear 530 was compatible with it. Most of you probably are going to be learning on the Cessna 172. Another option would have to do with your way of controlling here. We have the Thrustmaster stick, which is a very good stick for the money. But we're going to also offer the Honeycomb yoke. It's a new yoke that's better than the CH yoke. It's better than the Logitech yoke, which the guys at Pilot Workshops just can't stomach using those. They're just not good enough. But the Honeycomb is the first affordable yoke, in my opinion, that you can get and that is good, works well. So we're going to offer that as an option to trade that out if you don't want the stick. So yeah, the Honeycomb yoke is a really good yoke. If you're looking at the CH or the Logitech, just stop looking because they're not good. They're not good at all. We're also going to offer the option for the Yoco. The Yoco is the Cadillac of yokes, but it costs $1,000 just by itself. So only for those people that are really aficionados, just want the Cadillac, are going to want to opt for that Yoco. Probably with a budget system like this, the Yoco isn't appropriate when you consider it would be half the cost of the entire package just to get the Yoco, but we do offer that option out there. So there it is. There is the single display Pilot Workshop system from X-Force PC.